the Know for Friday, May 12th, the 132nd day of 2023. There are 233 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. We're on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're on Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll celebrate moms. We will also get ready for Grayson County's prom tomorrow. We've got coverage of that. We'll tell you about it. What's the forecast look like for prom? We'll tell you about that. And election voting is underway. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Okay.
Kind of cloudy.
It is.
Kind of rainy.
Yeah.
Kind of dark.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, kind of even looks dark in the studio today, doesn't it? You have one of the greenest thumbs of anyone I know.
Yeah, don't jinx me, but
I wondered, do you know, I didn't readily know the difference between a bush and a shrub.
I feel like I should know
Think
this.
you do?
I think shrubs are like of a hardwood variety. Is that true?
A shrub with branches, a thick shrub, technically a low and much branched shrub. That's a bush. A bush is a shrub with branches. A shrub is a woody plant, generally smaller than a tree, which provides several stems rather than a single trunk from the base.
Yes.
So I think that's pretty much self-explanatory as well. How are your crops coming along so far? You got anything good?
I do.
Yeah?
Yes, they're coming right along.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited.
You're coaching them along every day and encouraging
I
them.
go down and talk to them and
Be the mama of all those plants, right? Well, that's good. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Cincinnati. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I can't help but notice that maybe you look a little tired and fatigued. Did you stay up late scrutinizing the Bengals schedule?
Well, that was part. I mean, no. It's just it's been a long week. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it just keeps on going.
It keeps going and going like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we got plenty of stuff tonight, tomorrow, next week. So it's a busy time.
Yeah, it is a busy time. Were you surprised anything on the Bengals schedule? I heard CBS say they kind of got 4 primetime games.
Correct. That
scheduled.
might have been a little bit of surprise that it was that low.
Yeah.
But I mean, the opponents have been known for 4 or 5 months now, so it's not like it was a surprise as to who they were playing. It was more of just as to when they were playing each of the opponents.
Yeah, you just didn't know when it was going to happen, or
correct.
Times and dates basically were unknown,
correct.
But matchups were known. Okay,
correct. Yeah, and I mean, I enjoy it just because why not? It's fun.
Sure. Well, as we mentioned yesterday, we found out the day previous news cycle that the Titans and Ravens are going to England
London,
to play.
yeah.
And I did see the Titans put out a video where I don't know if you've been to downtown Nashville in a while, but they have the occasional bachelorette party. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but every once in a while, a bachelorette party will happen down Broadway. I know it's a rarity. So they went out of their way and found one, and they started interviewing. They were showing these bachelorette party goers.
Yeah, that was how they released their schedule.
This is how they did it. So the logos of the teams, and to hear some of those party goers guess at who the teams were was quite funny.
It was the Boston Bobcats was the Bengals.
Yes, the Boston Bobcats were the Bengals, and then the Baltimore Orioles were the Ravens.
Which
they got relatively close. They knew the city. At least.
And knew it was a bird, I guess.
That's right. Scattered showers and storms possible through the weekend. Going to see some spotty showers and thunderstorms today. Thunderstorm and rain chances will linger throughout the weekend, but it's going to be much calmer and pleasant weather settling in for next week. Now, Sam, you've looked at the timing for tomorrow. Are we still thinking greatest likelihood of showers being early in the day?
Correct. It looks like it's going to be, it'll be a little overcast, but no rain as of right now there. If you're having like a midnight party for the prom, it might be maybe the prom cleanup might get a little wet, but I think it should be pretty decent. Now, If you're supposed to be doing a Grayson County softball game today,
Then that's iffy.
because we can't do a softball game without it getting canceled because of rain.
Is it true that Judge Henderson is putting a retractable roof over the square?
Now that I have not heard.
Really? Oh, maybe I dreamed that, or I don't know. I thought maybe I saw that as they were building a dome of some kind of retractable roof.
I think I saw
over
the sheriff with a hammer and nails walking down the street earlier.
Maybe that's a possibility. Settling in pretty nice. We're going to see it mild next week. Going to be in the mid 70s for highs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But as you heard us allude to, K105 Digital Productions will have coverage of the, is it the gold carpet or is it the red carpet? I don't know what color the carpet is. Anyway, they're walking the carpet
Maybe
tomorrow.
it's an orange carpet.
The big arrival of all the prom goers because, mamas and daddies and meemaws and papas, they're not allowed. So the school...
Nor should they be.
That's right. The school partners with us to be able to watch the arrival. And so the theme is Roaring 20. So maybe we'll see some flapper girls, and let's hope there are no speakeasies on the square and all that. So,
And like I know we were told and I'm excited to see that apparently our MC of the evening, Shane
Master
Decker,
of Ceremonies, yes.
has apparently he's gone all out.
He has a new suit.
And we've only been told just a little bit about it, but apparently it is going to be worth you tuning in for even a few minutes and subscribing to the K105 YouTube channel to see
I
it.
asked Harry or Lloyd, and I got no definitive response on that.
Well, he wasn't in the meeting, so I guess he couldn't answer which one it was.
That's true, and they didn't want to reveal. Anyway, that's about 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. The red carpet walk begins, and you can see all the prom goers. Yesterday afternoon, we wondered for a while if we weren't going to be scrambling to find ways to let people know how to watch our coverage of the prom arrival tomorrow evening. But there was some type of problem with the appears to be the Apple Facebook app accessing certain pages, and I think ours is probably the most highly trafficked in the county. And so it got quite a bit of attention when all of a sudden people were cut off from their news supply yesterday. But Android users, I don't think were disrupted. Desktop users, I don't think were disrupted. But there was something specific about the Apple app for Facebook, and I think that's been resolved. I think they got it resolved by about 6 o'clock last evening. So did you talk to Zuck? Did you get Zuck on the horn?
Sent him emails, and I know you have more of the connection with him, so I wasn't sure if you...
That's true. He and I do have a kinship.
We weren't the only ones either. I noticed that Grayson County Alliance, theirs was also...
we found a few other isolated incidents, but...
it wasn't because they shut us down, though.
Right. Exactly.
absolutely
it wasn't
not.
us. Right.
Yeah, it was...
Much to the chagrin of...
It was Apple.
I know, right?
What, right? Don't you think it was specifically the Apple Facebook app, or do you think it's Facebook's app for Apple?
I think it's more of the latter. I think whoever's on their app development team at Facebook on their Apple side of it probably got a phone call from Zuck and said, you need to fix this after he heard from us.
They found a bug. Well, and that's one of the things we were talking yesterday is that, this is not localized to Grayson County, Kentucky. This is happening across the country. We just happen to be the page that people are most frequenting, the most people in common frequent. Fair enough to say that. So yesterday, during the weekly press conference of Governor Beshear, he urged Kentuckians to get out and vote during the upcoming primary election, that the election day is Tuesday, but you can vote again today. Early in-person voting was available yesterday. It's available again right now if you're with us live until 4 o'clock today. Tomorrow, 8 to 4 at the Center on May. And then Tuesday, traditionally 6 to 6. I don't think the dog gets a vote.
I know,
Winnie?
right?
I don't think that the Beshears took Winnie to the polling place, and I don't think she got to color in the boxes and put in the scanner. If so, I would offer you can't be doing that. But anyway,
maybe she wanted to vote for Peppy Martin.
perhaps we are getting some. We're getting some prognostication that turnout is not going to be great, and so your vote probably counts. Like you say, well, my vote doesn't really count.
Apparently, Winnie's doesn't,
the
though,
number
according to you.
the number of votes that are going to be cast are going to make a big difference, especially spread over such a broad number of candidates, particularly in the gubernatorial race on the GOP side of the ballot. There are 12 candidates. You will in the gubernatorial ballot, you probably recognize the name Jacob Clark of Grayson County, and who's at the top of that list. Then you've got David O. Cooper, who is a National Guard member. You've got Kelly Craft. I think you know her name by now. You got suspended attorney Eric Dieters. You probably know his name by now. Bob DeVore is a McCreary County School Board member. Mike Harmon is the state auditor and chief executive dad joker. And Somerset Mayor Alan Keck, Dennis Ray Ormerod, I don't know.
Never heard of him.
Ryan Quarles, Johnny Ray Rice, Robbie C. Smith, and Attorney General Daniel Cameron. So that's the GOP side. Andy Bashir and Pepe Martin and Jeff Young are on the Democratic side. Now, Michael Adams did get primaried, but I don't think it's a significant challenge. Steve Nipper and Alan Miracle in the Secretary of State's race for GOP. Running for state treasurer are Republican hopefuls Mark Metcalf and O.J. Oleka and Andrew Copperrider. Now, Allison Ball has to change offices because she's term limited, so she's running for auditor of public accounts. And I did hear Russ Coleman got a pretty big endorsement from KSR yesterday. Did
Russell
you hear that?
Coleman, yeah.
Yeah. So I heard Matt Jones talk. One thing he was talking about, of course, Russ has a connection to Grayson County, and he was talking about he's a lawyer's lawyer. Like, he's a lawyer, whereas a lot of your attorney generals, sometimes it's a stepping stone. They're politicians moving to another office. But so
Like Bashir and Daniel Cameron.
yeah, certainly the last two, and Jack Conway would have been the same way. And so sometimes it's just it's like waiting in the wings type of office. So anyway, you can vote today. And by the way, I know you've heard this over the last 3 weeks, but on Tuesday, your historical precinct is no more. But you'll be able to vote in familiar places, including the Center on Main. If you're a Grayson County resident registered voter, you can vote at any of the 7 locations. You don't have to go to the one that's closest to you. Say if you live close to one, but you work closer to one as well, and you want to go out on your lunch break, then you're welcome to do that. The Center on Main, the Church of Joy Gymnasium, the Old Caneyville School, the Falls of Rough Fire Department, the Rock Creek Voting House. They have some great birthday parties at the Rock Creek Voting House, by the way. Clarkson City Hall Community Center and the Big Clifty Community Center are the 7 locations you can vote on Tuesday. Or you want to make it easy and avoid the traffic, any potential traffic, you can just do it today until 4 o'clock. A man has been stabbed to death at an Elizabethtown residence. EPD spokesperson Chris Denham said about 6:30 last night, officers were dispatched to Melanie Lane, just off the bypass, on the report of a stabbing. They said that the victim has been identified as 36-year-old James Franklin, but the investigation remains in the preliminary stages, but added there are no suspects at large and no additional threat to the community exists. Sounds a terrible accident. The lot of conversation going on today about the border and the Title 42 ending and what's going on at our southern border. People fleeing Mexico that are coming, they start south of Mexico in some cases and migrate all their way and trying to find their way into our country. And it also kind of touches on that immigration issue and having a porous border and people sneaking into our country. You'll find GOP candidates that are both talking about the dangers of the success or failure in the fight against the spread of illegal drugs. You find Governor Bashir talking about it, and he's talking. He likes to he likes to take credit and remind us about the additional treatment options that have become available while on his watch. Then critics of his will also talk about how addiction and usage has gone to certainly high levels thanks to myriad things, but including we lived through a pandemic, and there were a lot of people that made poor decisions of behavior because of stress, anxiety, poor mental health, whatever. And so it continues to be a problem, but it is one that we're going to have to face head on. But anyway, it's kind of being talked about on both sides, just through slightly different prisms, so to speak. Dr. Stack, speaking of a pandemic, Dr. Stephen Stack, when a pandemic ends, apparently he's also got to roll out and say, okay, here's what this means for everyone from a public health standpoint. And he said this day is a long time in coming, and it's a very welcome day for us all. The CDC and the Kentucky Department for Public Health data reports are going to change because much of the data that is needed to generate them will no longer be collected. So you'll not see the community levels map any longer. You'll not see the incidence rate map. And so just kind of signals a change. But you can find some more information online on exactly what it means. But the state's website, kycovid19.ky.gov, will also change. It'll be simpler, shorter, but still include relevant information for Kentucky. So it's still a thing. You know, we know it's being diagnosed, but so are, lots of different illnesses and sicknesses too. So I think it just kind of blends in with similar counterparts. A name that you became very aware of during the pandemic and the governor's daily briefings, Virginia Moore. We started the week by telling you that she had passed away over the weekend. Service information has been set. The services have been set, and the information is that there will be a celebration of life Sunday at Viewpoint Hall. That's the top level of the Muhammad Ali Center, downtown Louisville there. But one of the reasons I mentioned it is that if for whatever reason you feel compelled to honor her, she served the deaf and hard of hearing community since 1995 at the Kentucky Commission on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing in Frankfort, and held many roles during her 28-year tenure. I learned yesterday, thanks to WLKY, that she was a forerunner that it used to be you saw no ASL interpreters at governmental briefings, and she kind of led the charge on creating that and making them available. And so they were available some places, but now it's very common, and it's because of her urging and pushing to make that available. And then, of course, we all became very aware of it during the pandemic, is that people who, had the hearing disability, they definitely needed to know what was going on as well, because they didn't know a lot, just like we didn't know a lot. So the reason I mention it is that you could make a donation to the Kentucky School for the Deaf. That's in Danville. It's at 303 South 2nd Street, Danville 40422. I'm sure you can Google and find it, Kentucky School for the Deaf, if you wanted to honor Virginia in some way. Farmers probably, if you're a farmer or you own farmland, you probably need to know that a 3-judge panel has agreed with A.G. Cameron, who was representing Kentucky, against a new rule from the Biden administration redefining the waters of the United States. It's called WOTUS for short. So Attorney General Cameron filed a lawsuit challenging the U.S. EPA's rule redefining WOTUS, arguing that it usurped Kentucky's authority to manage its own lands and waters. The panel agreed with Cameron, saying Kentucky gets to decide, and so these more stringent rules, at least for now, will not be followed. And the consensus or the wisdom is that even if they do appeal it, that Kentucky would be successful at the next level as well. So I know that can be a concern for people who are trying to manage waterways on farmland. Kentucky Derby winner Mage is on track to run in the Preakness and pursue the Triple Crown. This horse is an enigma. We weren't talking about this horse this time last week, but now you got a Derby winner, and who knows what could happen going into next week at the Preakness and beyond at the Belmont. Are you on Team Mage, Sam, yet?
Nah, I don't.
I am.
You are?
I think it's great.
Okay. It's a funny name. It's hard to say.
Yeah, now that the Derby's over, I kind of lose interest.
I got you. And this surprised me. Hall of Fame trainer Todd Pletcher has been suspended 10 days and fined as a result of a positive drug test last year involving Forte, who was scratched hours before the Kentucky Derby last weekend because of an injury. I wonder if those two things are related in any way. Late scratch and you don't think they're connected?
I don't know. I don't.
Hard to say. It's
You got the conspiracy
it's
theories?
just kind of a weird thing. So there you go. All right, there are your headlines. Get you all caught up for the morning. We got plenty more. We're going to be celebrating mothers all morning, so we'll tell you about that. Why do we celebrate Mother's Day? Well, one, it's a really good idea, but we'll tell you how it came about. That and more coming up here on In the Know.
Owensboro Health offers excellent care for your entire family. Close to home in Grayson County with locations in Litchfield, Big Clifty, and Caneyville. Our primary care providers are experts in managing high blood pressure, diabetes, and other chronic conditions, so you can stay healthy and feel your best. Make an appointment today with one of our primary care providers at owensborohealth.org/primary care.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable.
ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start June 5th.
Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Here's information for voters for the upcoming May primary election. Early voting in the May primary will be available to anyone May 11th, 12th, and 13th from 8 to 4 at the Center on Main in Litchfield. Then on Election Day, May 16th, you may vote at any of the following voting centers: the Center on Main on South Main Street, the Church of Joy on Schoolhouse Road, the Old Caneyville School on East Maple Street, the Falls of Rough Fire Department on Falls of Rough Road, the Rock Creek Voting House on Grayson Springs Road, the Clarkson Community Center on Millerstown Street, and the Big Clifty Community Center on Cemetery Road. No matter where you live in Grayson County, you may vote at any of these voting centers between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on May 16th. Early voting is only offered May 11th, 12th, and 13th from 8 to 4 at the Center on Main. Find more information at govoteky.com.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis, and Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Are you looking for a stable career with excellent benefits, 401k match, paid time off, and tuition reimbursement? Cormark is here. We are ready to support you and your career goals. When you join us, you'll discover a culture that encourages you to grow and challenges you to achieve. We embrace each employee as family. Our incentive pay structure rewards you based on your own performance. Show us your commitment, and we'll show you how to earn the money you deserve. Call a recruiter today, 270-259-9341, or stop by for an interview. Walk-ins welcome. Cormark is an equal opportunity employer.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is scheduled to testify before Congress next week. Phil Hewlett has details.
Altman's company is leading the development of artificial intelligence with its popular generative language platform, ChatGPT. A Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Privacy, Technology, and the Law will question Altman about the benefits and risks of AI. The hearing, entitled Oversight of AI, Rules for Artificial Intelligence, will happen next Tuesday, a day after Altman has dinner in Washington, D.C. with about 50 lawmakers from both sides of the aisle.
Twitter will soon have a new CEO. Elon Musk made that announcement in a tweet Thursday afternoon, saying the new hire will start in about 6 weeks. Musk did not give any details about who the new CEO is, other than saying it is a woman. And Google is coming out with a folding phone. The tech giant is taking pre-orders now for the Pixel Fold. Google says it's the thinnest foldable phone on the market and will cost $1,799. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield, NBC.
Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this.
Today is Nurses Day, International Nurses Day. It is Limerick Day. for you Limerick fans. Tomorrow is Tulip Day. Tomorrow is Apple Pie Day. If you're going to do apple pie, at least do apple pie a la mode. Throw a scoop on
Or
there.
McDonald's.
Yeah, you could do that too. Sunday, as you probably have gathered by now, is Mother's Day. Sunday is also Dance Like a Chicken Day. You won't be celebrating properly as a mother if you don't do the chicken dance. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Buttermilk Biscuit Day is Sunday. And Stars and Stripes Forever Day is Sunday. It's the anniversary of the first public performance of the Stars and Stripes Forever. It was first performed May 14, 1897 in Philadelphia.
There's only one mother in the room, so I guess she's the only one that has to do the chicken dance.
Well, yeah.
She'll do it on
that's
Sunday.
all right. I mean, I don't mind.
Here are the
I like to
weekly by the numbers, a statistical look at who we are, the things we do with Mother's Day in mind.
You haven't had a by the numbers in a little bit.
The numbers staff has been busy on other stuff. 81% of women 40 to 44 years old are mothers. So, wow, 81% of women 40 to 44 are moms. 14% of women have broken up with a man because they didn't like his mother. 18% of us say we have quit a job because our mother told us to.
Mama knows best, right?
I'm sorry. Listen.
Mama said knock you out.
Yeah, Mama said get off that pole.
Oh, that's the job they told them to quit.
Well,
Gotcha.
I mean, that's what I was thinking.
60% of moms say the best way to discipline their kids is to take away their video games. Listen, you get resourceful.
Yes.
At least you try. 24% of consumers shopping for Mother's Day will buy their gifts from discount stores. 11% of moms end their childbearing years with 4 or more children. So just over 1 in 10 women have 4 or more children.
I'd like you to ask that 100 years ago, and how much that's changed or something.
Had to be 20% probably, didn't it? At
and
least.
then will it be in 100 more years?
Yeah. 12% of mothers admit that what they want the most for Mother's Day is the day to themselves.
Peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet.
You go now. Mama said,
Mama said, get out.
Mama said, Mama said,
Mama said,
foosball's the devil.
Mama said, don't ask questions.
That's right.
Don't call my name.
Do you know why we celebrate Mother's Day? Yeah, we all know that, don't we? Okay.
I mean, other than just the obvious.
Because it's a good idea.
It's a good idea. And, I mean, birthing a baby is not the easiest thing in the world.
I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. I saw this on the news last evening, and I have information to confirm it. A new study says a peanut allergy patch for toddlers shows promise. An experimental skin patch to help treat toddlers who are highly allergic to peanuts is showing promise. Published in the New England Journal of Medicine, the trial's findings show the patch, named ViaSkin, helped kids ages 1 to 3 who initially couldn't tolerate even a small fraction of a peanut to eventually be able to eat a few safely. If additional testing supports these results, this could fill a huge unmet need. Peanut allergy is one of the most common and dangerous food allergies, and there is no cure. Parents of allergic tots are constantly on guard against exposures that can lead to emergency room visits.
This is great.
Yukon's son Alex.
Yeah, you got people that,
great.
they have it mildly, but then you got some that just anaphylactic shock and EpiPens. And if this will help condition you, and I think there's some of the conventional wisdom on this as well, is if you can, at an early age, if you can, it's like building an immunity to anything. If you get micro doses of it, you gradually build up tolerance and resistance to it. So, but anyway, it might be a big game changer for parents who are constantly on guard, or parents who are looking after others' kids at parties and sleepovers and things and trying to figure out, all right, who might have what allergy.
Well, and it's exhausting, you know, being on the watch for something like that.
Checking wrappers and all that good stuff. If you've bought pretty much anything in the last couple of years, you know inflation is everywhere, especially on the shelves of our grocery stores. Food inflation last summer was at a 40-year high. Prices increased at 10.4%. While inflation has started to fall slightly in 2023, notable disruptions in the supply chain have sent the prices of certain items into the stratosphere. Between 22 and 23, the prices of essential items such as frozen vegetables, flour, and margarine all rose by nearly 20% or higher. A different sort of disruption could soon impact some of the most historically affordable products in the grocery store, canned goods. In a twist, it's not the food inside the cans that would push prices up, but the material used to make the cans themselves, tin plate steel. Proposed tariffs on the product introduced by the Ohio-based steel company Cleveland-Cliffs would be as high as 300%, punishing imports from major tin plate producing countries, including China, Germany, and South Korea. So we're going to have to start delivering your canned goods in Ziploc bags.
Yeah, whatever works.
No.
Can you imagine not being able to buy the 59-cent can of tuna or whatever? It's more than that now, right? But
Well,
you can find it on sale sometimes.
I mean,
like-
in
What
other
about your
countries,
Vienna sausages?
In other countries, you drink Cokes out of a bag.
oh yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I thought you were going to say out of a can. I was like, wow, that's
no,
really
no, out of a bag. They put it. I
well.
mean,
Milk in the bag, yeah, that's a big thing. And I think they say that milk in the bag lasts longer than milk in the the plastic jug.
A Florida man faces 40 charges for overloading government agencies in Washington County with faxes. County detectives filed the charges Tuesday against 49-year-old Robert Allen Baker. According to the criminal complaint, Baker had been sending multiple pages of deeds and estate documents to multiple county offices, including the district attorney and sheriff. The number of pages sent disrupted government offices to include denying legitimate faxes to be transmitted to these offices. Court documents state that Baker is alleging corruption in county offices and believes the DA's office is robbing his grandmother. The complaint did not provide any additional details about Baker's allegations. So he basically just decided, he was warned on April 10th that any further contact would be considered harassment. On May 4th, he sent Baker a demand letter to cease and desist his communications, and then Baker was advised to address his concern in a civil suit. But that would be annoying where, if you think about it, that's one of the few remaining devices where until they turn it off, you can just keep sending the same page over and over and over and over, and it's just making a new copy each time you need. But
How long has it been since we had a fax machine here?
I often laugh about that with people because they say, well, can I fax it to you?
I think it was 2009.
Because I know technically the printer we have can fax.
Or
Oh,
10.
sure, but it can also scan an email anywhere in
Yeah.
the world. But that's why I laugh. They said, can I send you a fax? And I
No.
said, well, if you give me a minute, I need to go out in the backyard and get the fax machine off the pile of junk equipment. I think it's right on top of the stone tablets. And
I'm not sure, honestly, that I have received faxes because the radio station I used to work for, that they had a fax machine, and I'd have to pull stuff off the fax machine. But I don't know that I've ever sent a fax.
Was it the thermal paper fax?
Probably.
No, it was just
You've not lived until you've
not
had a
lived
thermal
until that,
paper
yeah.
fax.
Because that's how they get obituaries.
And that was the whole, like, my stepdad would bring that paper home for me to, like, color and stuff on. It was
Yeah.
the best paper ever.
But it's
But I don't know that I've ever actually sent a fax.
medical profession having a hard time. Medical profession and banking institutions
Yeah.
last to give up the faxing.
Does Stephen Smith have one in his office?
He has the ability to fax. I don't know that he has one.
Oh, I thought he had a personal
in
one that
his
he
office.
carries with him at all
And it
times.
also has gotten, now I do have a faxing app on my phone. No, somebody says, oh, you got to fax this. All right. I'm just basically sending you an email to your fax number. I mean, that's just kind of the way that works, but it's silly. You've heard of email, right? They even have the encrypted kind. Like, oh, fax is safer.
No.
Is it?
I mean, anybody can walk by and pick up that piece of paper.
exactly
You go,
right.
I mean,
Just an argument.
And then the noise, too, that it makes.
Yeah.
It's like dial-up.
I'm pretty sure it was 2009.
I dealt with an organization
pitched
yesterday
it.
that told me they had a
Or
new
10.
phone number, that their old number is now their fax number. And I was like, yes, I found this out yesterday when I tried to call you 10 times and kept getting.
What noise does it make?
It's recorded. You can go back and listen to it.
Well, it doesn't work that way.
We were bragging on, well, sort of bragging on airlines the other day. We listed the airlines first to 10th that people most avoid. And I told you I was surprised because American Airlines was number 4, but I find I've usually had pretty good experience with American historically, percentage-wise for the number of the times that I fly them. But I'm seeing this. Dealing with a prosthetic leg is not as easy as people think it is, according to Michael Williams of St. Louis, Missouri. He said dealing with an airline that lost your prosthetic leg is even harder. He said, you can't do this to somebody that's disabled. Just say, hey, we lost something in yours, but we're not going to pay for it. But that's what he said American Airlines told him. This all started in 2020. Williams was flying from Indianapolis to Charlotte on his way home to St. Louis. The special-made leg, I put in my suitcase. I put the sticker on it that says fragile. I gave it to the young lady at American Airlines when I was checking in. When I get to St. Louis, they roll me downstairs to baggage claim. I'm sitting there waiting for my luggage to come off, and never comes off. Williams said he followed all of American's delayed or damaged baggage protocols, verified what was missing, and submitted a claim. He said he eventually received a reimbursement check for a little more than $600, but this prosthetic leg cost $26,000 to be exact. Wow. And American said that they weren't going to remedy this.
This isn't him losing his boxer shorts.
Right.
No, not at all. But so I try to look at it from both sides. I would not check anything in a piece of luggage that would be very hard to live without. Mm-hmm. Because
your iPhone,
I know,
like it's not the same thing, but like the iPhone charger always goes in the backpack.
Primarily because I may need it in the airport, mm-hmm. before I'm reunited with the luggage. But I mean, there are lots of things I will put in there, but I know there is a chance that I may never see it again because an entire industry exists where they sell unclaimed luggage in Alabama. Now, of the amount of bags that the airlines handle, the percentage of lost bags has to be very, very low. The percentage of misplaced bags has to be, lost is never able to find. Misplaced or mishandled is a higher percentage. But I don't think there's anything worth $26,000 that I would not carry on my person. So, I think Americans should do whatever they can to help him, but I think it's an important lesson to all of us. If you have something worth $26,000, don't leave the fate of it up to a baggage handler.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're fine people, but they make mistakes like the rest of us. So I feel bad for him. Here's the thing. I feel bad for him because it's a man and his prosthetic leg. But if it were a man and his $26,000 Rolex watch, we would just say, well, you shouldn't put your Rolex watch mm-hmm. in your luggage. So,
Prosthetic leg's a little bigger than the...
That's true.
Who knows how much that weighs to it? I mean, it might not... there's a lot that could go into it. I mean, how much it weighs, and then is he going to store it in the overhead compartment?
That's probably one of the reasons that it costs so much is because it's so light. It's probably made of titanium.
Well, I mean, and if you're going to put your guitar in the overhead bin, I think I would put my leg in the overhead bin.
Some people do it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then this surprise. This did not surprise me, unfortunately, but it made me laugh. A photographer has gone viral for sharing an unusual refund request he apparently received from a former client who's now divorced and doesn't want her wedding photos anymore. Lance Romeo posted screenshots of the reported text correspondence he had with a woman he photographed in 2009. He said, "You can't make this stuff up." The former bride reminded Romeo that he was hired for a wedding day photo shoot in Durban, a coastal city in eastern South Africa, which is 6.5 hour drive from her home in Johannesburg. She says, well, I'm now divorced, and those pictures, I and my ex-husband don't need them anymore. You did a wonderful job on them, but they went to waste, and we are now divorced. I will need a refund of the amount we paid you because we don't need them anymore. First, he said, is this a joke? Because that's what I would have said too. Like, are you being serious? And
for real?
Right. And then she said, you didn't state that it was non-refundable policy. And finally, he just said, have your attorney call me. Yeah. Sometimes that's the best way just to do it. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
You have to let your baby fly. You've given me everything.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Congratulations! You're going to be a mom, and we're here to help every adorably tiny step of the way. Now, expectant and new mothers up to 1 year are eligible for no-cost health coverage through K-CHIP or Medicaid. Just visit us at connect.ky.gov/K-CHIP to qualify and enroll. Then sit back and relax for a minute, okay? You've got enough going on.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need.
Down, set, 8, 1, 1, 8, 1, 1.
The best football teams always get the call right, and you need to make the right call before you excavate. If you don't and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate, and you could be fined up to $1,250. So make the right call. Put safety first. Call 811 before you dig.
Touchdown! Oh my goodness!
This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast for today as temperatures warm into the 70s for highs. We're going to keep some of these rain chances around into tonight as we slide down into the 60s. Now for tomorrow, warmer with highs into the upper 70s and low 80s, still keeping some scattered storms in the forecast. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
My daughter's eyes, I am a hero.
Did you know the mother who gave birth to the heaviest baby was in 1955 22 pounds, 8 ounces. In my daughter's eyes, I'm a hero. Yeah, you birth a 22-pound baby, you better be a hero to everybody. Mercy.
That's like a melon.
22 pounds. Well, I mean, that's three times the average birth weight of a child. You know,
Good
say,
gravy.
what, 21, 7 pounds?
7 pounds.
7 pounds is
yeah.
probably the average child. So more than 3 times that?
Yeah, I can't.
Holy moly. I saw. What's
that's a heck
Sam?
of a one.
You're
That's a heck of a
marveling
one.
at that.
Yeah, that's a heck of a.
Yes, it's a heck of a something. Yeah.
I saw that Dolly and Garth were the co-hosts of the ACM last night. I saw that another famous power couple, no, they're not really a couple, not Dolly and Garth, but another dynamic duo, George and Deanna Lindsay, were at the ACM Awards last night. That was good to see. And they got to see... Oh, no, sorry, wrong one. There you go. Here's Dolly. Dolly performed.
I was going to say, that didn't sound like Dolly.
That sounded like Martina McBride.
What you gonna do when it all burns down? Fire, fire, burning higher. Still got time to turn it all around.
Rockstar is the album. The first single is World on Fire.
But that don't mean I don't stay in touch. Everybody's tripping over this or that. What we gonna do when we all fall flat? Liar, liar, the world's on fire.
It's just more of Dolly with a rock beat underneath.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, it's just. But is she doing like this number? Is she headbanging? There's no telling where her wig's going to go if she goes headbanging.
They should be using some Gorilla Glue and not just regular wig glue on that.
I did not get to see Ed Sheeran's performance, but he says, I think he's pandering, but he said he'd love to transition to making country music. He said it's just brilliant songs. He said, I talk about this to my wife all the time. I would love to transition into country. I love the culture of it. I just love the songwriting. It's just like brilliant songs.
Tell you what, that's a hot take right there. Brilliant songs of country. I know I'm not a country music fan, but I'm not sure that I would ever classify most country music as brilliant songwriting.
Now, there are brilliant written country songs, but Drink in My Hand and Drunk on a Plane and like those certainly aren't brilliant, but there's a lot of not brilliant pop songs
I'm
or
not
classical songs or so but it's just, would he have said, this is what I talk to my wife about this all the time.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to drop in there that he was going to switch and go into Cook Ranch music.
Maybe. I think they're forming an alliance, I think, with the two. And if your life is incomplete until you join a book club that Dua Lipa is launching, then your ship has come in. The levitating singer will personally choose the tales read by members of the Service 95 Book Club, which is the latest branch of her Service 95 platform. She said in a statement, reading a book is one of the most profound joys in life. Reading provides a form of escapism, a way to understand human connection, and help us navigate human relationships. I see a note being written down.
Yes, I am writing right now.
Yeah, see the note being written down over there. And Dua Lipa, I know somebody's joining Dua Lipa's book club. There you go. Got to get to a break. Come back, finish it up for the week here on In the Know.
No one else can be what you have been to me. You will always be. You will always be the girl in my life for all time. Mama, you know.
The first day of grade school can be an exciting time for some moms because their young children are heading out from under their daily care for the first time. Other moms find it scary for exactly the same reason. Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. If you're a mom who's apprehensive, remember that worry isn't rooted in love. It's actually the result of fear. Worrying can make you overprotective, resulting in holding your child back when what they really need is encouragement to move forward. Worry is an emotion that has to be kept in check with truth. Remember when your son or daughter was learning to walk? They needed you to let go of their hands so they could figure it out on their own and even fall down. When children reach school age, they need you to give them more space and more freedom. It's also during childhood that young boys and girls need to learn how to handle responsibilities. Getting themselves ready for school in the morning and completing homework on time form the basis for the skills that they'll need as adults. So when you're tempted to worry that your son or daughter needs you to be there to help, stop and ask yourself if that's what they really need. It might be that the best thing you can do is let them stumble so that they can learn how to walk through the next stage on their path toward maturity. To help your family thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
People ask me sometimes, Lance, I'm worried about my finances and I feel bad because I should be worried, right? I realize that inflation is going to be eating up money. I've got to do something to get around this crazy stock market and Biden's spending spree. Gold has, since the beginning of time, been the resource that God's people have relied on. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, is what the prophet Haggai said during a time of great shaking. To protect your retirement, I recommend that you diversify your 401k or IRA right out of paper assets and into physical gold. And the best way to do that is with Gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, text the word DIVINE to 989898 to get a free info kit on Gold IRAs. Remember, there are no strings attached. By diversifying your retirement account into gold, your savings can be protected. Just text that word DIVINE, DIVINE, to 989898. Take action right now, and I pray that your family is blessed with continued prosperity.
You know this was a song about moms? I never knew that until today. Forever Young. MB's point to ponder for today. Who's the all-time best TV mom? Who's the all-time best TV mom? I'm going to throw not Roseanne. I'm going to say not Peg Bundy. I'm going to say...
I don't know. Claire Huxtable was good.
So she was good. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I ran her through my processor.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking there was something about the Claire Huxtable character that I did not like, and I don't know what it was. I love the Cliff Huxtable character, and I love the show. There was something about her. I don't know if it's something in particular about Felisa Ayers Rashad or what, but it's like it was overacted, I think.
I don't know. I liked her. I mean, I'm not saying she's my favorite, but she came to mind.
Simpson.
I wondered if Marge Simpson would come up. Of course, there's the obvious June Cleaver, the common ones. But here's one I kind of drilled down and found. Maggie Seaver.
Yeah.
So Kirk Cameron's mom.
I didn't watch that.
Alan Thicke's wife, Maggie. She was modern. She was common. She was funny. She had rules. Joanna Kearns is who played her. But at the end of the day,
what show is that?
Growing Pains.
I was gonna say all of these are before my time, so I have no idea.
I almost called her Carol, but Carol was the sister.
Mm-hmm.
BJ Thomas did the theme song. So,
I'm going. Marge is my answer.
Okay.
Carolyn Ingalls.
Listen, no. Oh, I can't even. I cannot even.
No, not Carolyn Ingalls?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be right up there with
Too
Aunt
soon?
B for me.
Too soon?
Yes,
Okay,
too soon.
too soon, all right.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite TV mom.
Yeah, they're hard to.
They're hard.
They're kind of hard to come up with. I mean, well, there are so many, but then
Yeah.
like all moms, oh well, I didn't like her because of kind of like I did with Claire Huxtable. I mean, it's hard to find the ideal one.
I will say the TV dad that I'm not a fan of is the commercial one right now. That one's driving me crazy.
Oh
If
yeah,
you've seen this,
TV Dad.
I've seen it too many times.
Mr. Winslow. Jeopardy Masters is on tonight's Game 7 and 8. That's turned into a really good week of TV. It's tonight and then next week as well. The NHL playoffs, Florida at Toronto, Edmonton at Las Vegas tonight. On Hallmark Channel tomorrow, Dream Moms. The NHL playoffs continue tomorrow if necessary. XFL football tomorrow. Grayson County prom coverage tomorrow. Tonight you got softball.
Bowling Green at 6. So it'll be softball against Bowling Green at 6. That'll be the final regular season game for the Lady Cougars. If Mother Nature will actually allow us to do a softball game. I think we've had 5 straight canceled because of weather for our coverage. So maybe it's us.
We got the Clarkson Cardinals got 2 in last night. We did Ernie Banks. Hey, let's play 2. Got them in, even though got a little rain shower. So maybe good luck will happen for the Lady Cougars tonight. Also, I just thought of this.
Well, I will say, too, not to cut you off, but the Lady Cougars won last night back-to-back shutouts for the first time in 6 years.
Really? Oh, that's wonderful.
So good
hear.
for them. Hopefully they can shut them out 3 straight times.
I also heard last night that my friend Darren, his daughter Logan Steenbergen, is the new head golf coach at Bowling Green High for girls. And like, she's really young. And I thought, well, that's wonderful. I mean, great for her and for the family. American Idol on Sunday night. It's Disney night. They typically line that up with Mother's Day because, it's good family songs. East New York, season 1 finale, and Match Me Abroad on TLC. That's a new series. They taking a break from 90 days. They got to give the fiancés a little break or something.
Probably.
Match Me Abroad sounds pretty much like the same thing. And the NHL playoff Sunday night, if it continues. I did not get to tell you, Book Club is new in theaters this weekend. That's the Jane Fonda, Diane Keaton, Candice Bergen. Rally Road Racers is out, and Blackberry is out.
Remember, though, for the prom, too, if you go to the K105 YouTube, hit subscribe, you'll get notified when that goes live. So in case you forget tomorrow, you get busy doing something, enjoying some of the weather, it's a good way to do it.
Today's highlight in history, this date in 1949, the Soviet Union lifted the Berlin blockade, which the Western powers had succeeded in circumventing with the Berlin airlift. During the Revolutionary War, this date in 1780, the besieged city of Charleston, South Carolina, surrendered to British forces. Top Gun premiered in theaters. It had its world premiere in New York this date in 1986.
Now, did you see it in theaters when it came out? Like in the 80s? Yeah.
Yeah, multiple
Look
times.
at his face. He's
The
like,
only movie I've seen in the theater more times than Top Gun is E.T. True story. Linda Dano is 80 today. Steve Winwood is 75. Billy Squier is 73. Kix Brooks is 68. Ving Rhames is 64. I never knew Ving was short for Irving. His first name is Irving, so he just goes by Ving Rhames. Emilio Estevez is 61. Kim Fields is 54. Tootie is 54 today. Jason Biggs is 45. And Rami Malek is 42.
Because Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen, aren't they brothers?
They are.
That's what I thought.
Sons of Martin Sheen. Gone but not forgotten. Edward Lear in 1812. That's why it's Limerick Day. Florence Nightingale in 1820. Katharine Hepburn in 1907. Howard K. Smith in 1914. Yogi Berra in 1925. Burt Bacharach in 1928. We just lost Burt in February. Tom Snyder in 36. And George Carlin in 37. Chart toppers.
So do we get to say 7 dirty words of radio now because of George Carlin?
You can go do that on somebody else's station. So let's go to 1958. If my chart topper machine doesn't work properly, I'm just going to go back and play more Mama's music.
works for me.
Mamas, don't let your baby.
I thought you would have a Yogi Berra-ism for his birthday today.
Oh, here it is. The reason nobody goes there anymore is because it's too crowded. That's my favorite Yogi Berra-ism. Nobody goes there anymore because it's too crowded. Did you have one you were thinking
No,
of?
I mean, he's got plenty of them, and a lot of them that people still say that they don't realize were...
Deja vu all over again. Arthur Conley, number 1 in 67 with Sweet Soul Music.
Yeah, when you come to a fork in the road, take it.
Sure. Let's go to 1976. The Silvers, number 1 with Boogie Fever. Boogie Fever.
You wouldn't have won if we'd beaten you.
Let's go to 1985. Simple Minds. Don't you forget about me. All right, got to play this one when I get an opportunity. By the way, 94, Clint Black, Good Run of Bad Luck. 03, Sing for the Moment, Eminem. Rascal Flatts, Banjo, and 2012. I don't know why I like that song, but I do. And 2021, Dua Lipa, brand new book clubber, and levitating. I hope moms have a phenomenal Mom's Day. You got one of your Mother's Day gifts earlier. I hope you like it.
Thank you. I do. I love it.
So, and I look forward. We're going to have lunch with my mom on Sunday, making a little something my sisses and I are kind of throwing together. So anyway, Sam, I hope Adele has a wonderful Mother's Day.
I don't really know what they have planned. It's kind of, we're in this weird where a lot of birthdays and Mother's Days and...
Well, you will tribute her properly no matter how
Correct.
no matter where you are, I'm sure. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today, and specifically happy birthday to Tita Mama. That's Teresa Mama.
Is that today or on Mother's Day?
Did I say happy birthday?
Yes.
Oh, so now happy Mother's Day. Her birthday's in December.
Thinking,
I was gonna say
happy Mother's Day.
I totally just.
I know her birthday's in December.
It's her unbirthday.
We celebrate her birthday every day. So, happy Mother's Day to her and all moms. Mother is she who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take. A mother is she who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on K